Welcome back. As we continue to talk about COPD care tips, that's going to help you have a better control of your disease and your symptoms. So today we're going to talk about COPD flare-ups and COPD exacerbations. And how do you navigate those days that where your symptoms are bad and you can help yourself pace down and slow down so you can let the bad days and the bad phase pass without getting a flare-up that takes you to the hospital. First thing is to understand what is a COPD flare-up or an exacerbation. These are the days when you have more symptoms compared to your usual ups and downs. It could be because of inflammation in the lungs that is triggered by something such as allergies or air pollution or cigarette smoking or some infections like viral infections or pneumonias. So anything can trigger off a COPD flare-up. And after that, it takes its own course because of higher inflammation, the air tubes are even tighter than usual. These are the days where you will feel the symptoms are much worse. This includes getting short of breath much easier and even feeling short of breath while you're resting or just doing a very small amount of activities. Your mucus production might be more. So you may be coughing up a different color of phlegm, like if typically you cough up whitish or light green phlegm, it might now be yellow or dark colored, or it might be in larger quantities than before. You might be having more wheezing and feel your chest is getting tighter easily. These are signs and symptoms that are giving you a signal that your lungs are not happy right now, and there's something going on that you need to do differently so that it does not turn into a full flare-up that requires you to go to a hospital. Everyone with COPD should have an action plan for these bad days. First is to recognize it and understand that this day is not a day that I'm going to push myself too much. So rest a little bit more and don't put yourself in positions or in circumstances where you get short of breath much easily. If you have a plan to go out and do groceries, maybe not do that today or ask someone else to help you out. Or if the weather outside is not good and you know that the cold air or the humidity can make your symptoms even worse, then avoid doing that and try to stay in controlled environment. And as you limit your activities, try to practice some mindful breathing, pursed lip breathing, and watch out our video to learn more about breathing techniques, including PEP Buddy and diaphragmatic breathing. This way you can have a better sense of breath control and hopefully you can manage your symptoms better. Another helpful way to track your progress or track your condition is to keep an eye on your heart rate and your oxygen levels. Now you can buy a pulse oximeter to keep it at home where you can put it on your finger and see how's your heart rate and how's your oxygen levels. People who are having a flare-up typically will start having a higher heart rate than usual, or their oxygen levels may drop down much faster than usual. You should also look for any new fevers and check your temperatures to see if there's a new infection that you are starting to have. For these days and for your symptoms, try to use your rescue inhalers or your nebulizers a bit more frequently and regularly so that they can help you calm down what's going on in the lungs and relax your tubes so that the breathing can be easier. To get additional therapies, you can also call your doctor or use the medicines that you may have discussed with them for a COPD action plan. You may need a short course of steroids like prednisone medicine for 3 to 5 days to calm down the inflammation of the lungs and calm down your symptoms. You may also need a course of antibiotic or a Z-Pak, azithromycin, to reduce the inflammation and infection. And people who have allergies may need some anti-allergy medicines. So discuss with your doctor to know what is your action plan. When do you start taking extra rescue inhalers? When do you start taking steroid pills or antibiotics, if any? And when is the time to come to the hospital? It's very important to stay on top of your COPD flare-ups. So whenever you start having a worsening of symptoms or more bad days than usual, then take it slow. Start acting quickly. Discuss with your doctor and do these interventions so that you can stay out of the hospital if possible. At the same time, do not hesitate to call emergency services or come to the hospitals if your symptoms are not getting better or they are too severe. Coming to the hospital at the right time and getting started on treatment right away might help from severe complications that can come with flare-ups. So I hope this was helpful to understand that you could do a lot to help stop a flare-up and act quickly when you're having bad days so that the disease does not progress. And if it does progress, you know exactly what to do when and be in control of your COPD. Gain better control of your breathing through PEP Buddy, your personal breathing coach.